I dropped out of high school. I was addicted to drugs.
Wow. I've been watching a lot of your activity, and you're just killing it in Southern California. So, want to kind of chat with you a little bit today about some of the stuff you're doing and get to know you a little bit better with my crowd as well too, if that's okay.
Oh yeah, perfect. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be the first guest of your show.
Well, you know how the secret of a video is always in the editing. You may be the first guest, you may not, so I may have to edit that out. All right, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see if anyone else comes along that's better. No, but in all seriousness, man, like I said, I've been watching you, especially last year. You have been killing it. So in terms of 2020, I know it's crazy for everybody like that, but what would you say that year was for you? Was it treading water? Was it huge success? Did you meet goals, exceed goals? What do you think of your perspective?
Um, 2020 for me, it was a year of learning about myself.
Hmm.
I think all the previous years, I was on an appreciating market,
Uh-huh.
and houses were selling quick, homes are going up, so it's kind of easy to have a good mindset, to how to easy to stay motivated when everything's going good. And then I think I learned a little bit about myself when the pandemic first started. Um, so I think 2021 was more of a learning year for me.
So it's kind of like a gut check for you then, right?
Yeah, gut check, learning about myself, learning about the world. The biggest learning year of my career, I think, so far.
How do you think that has affected you in your vision of what you want to do moving forward, or where you see yourself? I mean, when things are good, you always think, if I'm doing so well this year, in 5 years, I'm going to be this vision of myself. Has that changed, through some of the things that's happened?
Yeah. So first of all, my business is completely different because
Hmm.
of last year. I'm almost 100% a virtual flipper. Almost. I live in California. I flip in California, but I really don't go out to the properties. I haven't met with a client in longer. I don't even know when was the last time I was face to face to a client. I haven't stepped in an escrow office.
Wow.
Uh, I don't even know when. Uh,
Uh,
so a lot of different things have changed because of last year.
for you, is that better?
Yeah, it is better actually. It is better. Even when COVID's over, I'm learning that I'm way more efficient with my time.
Hmm.
So yeah, some of the things that changed were really good. Some of the
Yeah.
things that changed, they suck, but for me, everything so far that has changed has been positive. Besides not being able to see like friends and family.
Sure, sure. And hopefully that's, we're bending the corner on that. So hopefully we'll see that soon. I'll come visit you. I know you're dying for me to visit you.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things we always talk about, and our mentor, Ryan. Shout out to Ryan, by the way. I'm promoting his book. That Ryan always talks about is, those that don't know how to adapt or refuse to adapt will die, right? Because things happen and things change. And I think one of those things is the thing that you can always count on is the unexpected to always happen. So, I think one of the things that you've done really well is you just adapt and kind of steam forward. Going back to what I was saying, or you were saying earlier about, learning about yourself, your gut check. What are some of the things that really stood out to you as far as what you learned about yourself? And just for everyone to know that's watching this, he's, Brian is super has achieved quite a bit, and I think you're still not 30 yet, right?
Not yet. I'm
Yeah,
fighting.
you son of a gun.
I'm fighting it.
You son of a gun. So I'll try not to let that hurt my feelings, man. But the fact that you're not even 30 yet and you're learning so much, not just in business, but in life in general, I think it's just a testament to you. But what are some of the things you think that really stood out for you during this whole gut check period?
I would say number one number one has to be fear. Number,
Mm.
because there's a lot of people who got scared of the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
and they close shop, or they quit, or they're like, you know what, I'm just gonna wait for this to be over, you know. Uh,
Yeah.
and I posted on my Instagram on New Year's the things that I learned, and the first one was fear kills.
Yeah.
And everyone gets scared. I get scared. I get anxiety. I get like uncertain. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I think dealing with it is another thing. So that was my biggest lesson of 2020 is like I'm gonna get scared. Stuff is gonna happen sometimes where it's completely out of my control, and I could like shrivel up, shrink everything, or I could, address it and figure out how to, go around it. Like if
Mm-hmm.
I don't buy houses, if I don't list homes, if I don't do wholesales, what am I going to do? I have to
Right.
do something. So I just had to slowly, say, hey, you know what? I got to take risk, and go out there and start getting after it. And then once I started, coming out of the house, started, looking at deals again, I was able to pick back steam up pretty quickly.
Do you know people within your circle, or just people in general in the industry, or just people in general, I guess, that are still in that fearful state where they're kind of waiting and waiting and waiting for the other shoe to drop?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are waiting for the economy to drop. They're waiting
Mm.
for this wave of evictions and foreclosures to come. But I personally, I can't wait. I
Yeah.
waited. It's those 2 months for me. It wasn't even 2 months. It was like a month and a half. Was
Uh-huh.
like felt like forever. I'm like, damn, like I can't just not take action.
Yeah.
Waiting, waiting is not a strategy to success.
Right.
You're never gonna
Right.
lead yourself to success. So
Right.
I was like, okay, I got to take action. I got to do something about this.
That's good. I think you hit something strong there. And again, it doesn't have to be about real estate. That's your industry and that's your forte. But that's, I think, a lesson in life and in anything in general. Is like, if you let fear, petrify you and freeze you, and you just wait, wait, wait. I don't think there's ever anything great that has been achieved that was done out of convenience, right? It's always the wrong time to do something. You
Yeah,
can always find a reason why something shouldn't work or it's not going to work, but you gotta, truck along and follow through.
I think for everyone should really like take accountability for themselves and their own actions and their own mindset, and that's what you're gonna have to do.
So you're a hard ass then, and I think that's good though. No, I mean that in the best way. I mean that in the best way. So I guess my question is not even a question. My thought to what you were saying is, I think some people are hardwired that way to be very motivated and goal oriented and stuff like that. You're obviously, by the way you described it, and just by what you've achieved, I've seen that. Ryan, for example, definitely, our buddy and mentor Ryan, definitely is a go getter, self starter.
My motivation is more internal. Like
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, I want stuff for my kids and money, but I really don't care about money. That's not like something I'm like super beaning over. I just
Mm-hmm.
like to like do stuff. I
Yeah.
like to build things. I like to be the one on top. I guess competition is more what motivates me. But if you're gonna have to find what motivates you. I
Right.
be able to be successful in anything and just kind of stumble through it. You're gonna have
Well,
to
I know in your office you have Mamba mentality in the back of your
yeah
wall, right? In your office.
yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's the kind of mentality like that I have.
Uh,
I want to be better than everyone that I see around me. Not like,
mhm.
oh, I want to do better than you, but if you're here, like, okay, I want to try to get here. I don't want you to do less, but I just want to try to do more.
I love that. I love what you said about that because I think that helps. I'll be honest with you. The purpose of my channel is I really want to help people. I really want to be a voice for the common man, common woman, because for me and for you, there are things out there that are achievable if people just believe in themselves. And if they see some schmuck like me doing something and, progressively day by day, week by week, month by month, get better and slowly get towards their goal. I hope that inspires them. And what you said about, about wanting to achieve more than what you see someone else achieve by you doing more, not by hoping they do less, is huge. Because I think the fallacy in success is people think it's a finite thing, meaning that if Brian succeeds, that means, oh, there's nothing left for me. So if they see Brian succeeds, then gosh, I guess I might as well not try. So I love that you hit that. That's huge. And I think that's a mental shift that people have to realize is that if you want to succeed, be around the people that are highly motivated, highly successful, because they'll elevate your game. And there's plenty of success out there for people that are willing to work for it. I mean, do you believe in that?
Yeah. So two things. One, I learned from Grant Cardone. He said something in one of his books. He's like, there's not a shortage of money.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have money, but there's money everywhere.
Yeah.
Just because you don't have it, that doesn't mean there's a shortage of money out there. And two, when you said about, looking at someone like you do it, I dropped out of high school. Did you know that?
No,
I dropped out of high school. I had my first son when I was 19 years old. I was addicted to drugs.
Wow.
Yeah, like I used to smoke weed every day. I used to drink almost every day. I would, go on. It goes on and on, right? Every day. So I don't think, I was born with some special thing. I think, I decided to make a change, and I was motivated, and then I just really took action.
Wow.
I used to work at Little Caesars.
Uh-huh.
I used to work at Sonic. I used to ride the little roller skates out there.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I would pay my next flip profit to see a picture of you in a Sonic outfit with roller skates, just so you know.
Make that happen.
All right, we'll talk off camera. I might have to give you my next flip for that, but I'm sorry, go ahead. So Sonic, you did all this stuff. You did all that work.
I did cleaning, bars, picking up trash.
Yeah.
I'm not super educated or anything like that. So with health, business, mindset, it's not really an education game. It's like, can you execute on what you're trying to do?
That's huge, dude. You hit it. Because I think there's comfort in education, meaning that because it's never ending, and again, this maybe because I'm biased, because I bet you didn't graduate high school. I barely graduated high school. I was a huge disappointment to my parents. I didn't go to college, any of that stuff. It just wasn't meant for me. So I do have a bias against getting a higher education just for the sake of getting a higher education. I think there should be a purpose behind going to college and all that stuff. You're a doctor, lawyer, what have you, great. But if you're using it, which I honestly believe a lot of people do, to pass time, I think you're wasting your potential. And what happens is I think there's a comfort in floating through education because you never have to execute. And you said that word, that's huge. That's the difference maker, right? Yeah. I mean, I think how many people go through courses and go through schools and do this and do that, but they never put it in the real world application. So what made you execute then? What separated you? What finally got you to take the action?
So I used to work 2 jobs. It was like 3 jobs, but then I got down to 2. I used to work 10 p.m. So think about this: 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Right?
Yeah.
6 in the morning, the sun is coming out. And then I would have to be back at work at like 9. So what are you going to do in 3 hours?
Wow.
Yeah. And travel, right? You got to go to work, right? So I would go home, take a shower. I would try to sleep, right, for an hour and then go back to work because, it took me like 30, 45 minutes to get to work, right? And then I would work from 10 to 6 during the day or later, and then get off at 6, right? Go home, try to sleep, and then do the same thing, Yeah. Yeah. So do that for a couple of years. And I was just like, damn, like this sucks. Like
everything else is easy compared to that, huh?
Yeah. And I used to clean Like, imagine cleaning,
Yeah.
Rick, from 10 to 6 a.m. in the morning.
Damn,
I'm not
dude.
doing fun stuff. I'm cleaning, like throwing away the trash, picking up mats on the ground, blah, 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 blah. So, long story short, this sucked. And then I met some guy at a barbershop. He was like a realtor. I was like, I didn't, I'm not educated at all. I'm like 22, 23 years old. And I'm just like, oh, like, what do you do for work? He's like, oh, I'm a realtor. I was like, how much do realtors make? He's like, 50,000. I was like, whoa, like,
Yeah.
do you have to work 10 to 6 at night?
Right.
Like, oh, well, I'll do that. How do I do that? And then I went to school. The teacher there, he was very motivating. And I grew up without a father, at all. No father, just single mom, not, not a lot of wisdom being passed down to me, learning from my mom, but no one's like teaching me anything. So I met this guy, super motivating, and he was like, my first year I made $100,000, and I was like, whoa, $100,000, like, wow. And
you might as well said $1 million because it was the same for you in your mind, right, at that point.
Yeah, I never even thought about making $100,000. That was even in my possibility. I didn't anyone that has ever made $100,000. My mom was a cocktail waitress, like we lived in an apartment, and we rented a house, we were at the time, we were going through foreclosure on her house. $100,000. I'm like, whoa, this is a lot of money. Like going from 100.
Right.
Oh, and I just went all in on getting my real estate license. And once I got my real estate license, I quit my jobs. I got it. I waited for it to come in. Prospecting. I got my first deal under contract, and I quit. I completely did not show up. I completely just bounced.
Yeah.
So I don't know why I started telling that story. But
No, it's cool. No, I love it. I love it. Like I said in the beginning, man, I just want to have a conversation with you. There's no structures to this. I just want to get to know you. And already you hit some points that I didn't even know about you. That's pretty freaking awesome, dude. So how did you go from agent to an investor to where you're at now? Because if you don't mind me asking, how many flips did you complete last year in 2020?
2020, I think I was between 24 flips.
Okay. What are you shooting? What are you shooting for this year?
Probably this year, I think my goal is 40, but I'm not. I don't get stuck on the unit count anymore.
It's profit.
Yeah, just profit. I don't really care.
Yeah.
How many, before it's oh, I did 100 deals. It's
right. I agree.
Yeah. So I was stuck on that when I was a realtor. Oh, I want to do 30 deals, then 50 deals. But yeah. But
less deals, more profit. Yeah. Less headaches.
Yeah, less deal, more profit, more organized, less headaches.
That's awesome. So how did you make that transition? Go back to that question. So you went from realtor, now you're an active investor. You fix and flip. So how that come about?
So as a realtor, started off in Las Vegas, and I was like, okay, I heard someone talking about NODs, so I was like, okay, so I could list notice of default sales, right? And they're short sales.
Right.
I started going after those, started getting those listings, but a lot of them were just beat up. I would list these properties, and then the same investors kept buying them on the MLS. And then I'm like, okay, well, I was just hey, how much do you make flipping houses? And then they're like, oh, you don't want to flip houses. You just keep doing what you're doing. You're crushing it. You're good. You're young.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Right there, I was like, okay, there's something here.
Right. They're trying to deter you, even though they're the ones that's doing it, right?
And it was more than one person. It was every investor.
Yeah.
Because I had no idea. It sounds dumb, but when you don't know, you just don't know.
No, I get it, man. Yeah. It's a different animal. Just because it's real estate doesn't mean that you as an agent would know the ins and outs of it. It's a different animal.
Yeah. So I was just like, man, no one will tell me. So then I finally was like, you know what? I'm not gonna like sell these deals to these people unless they like really communicate with me. And then one of them, he was like, yeah, bro, I'm probably gonna make like 60,000. And I was like, dude, you're gonna make $60,000 on this deal? Like, I just worked on this short sale for like 6 to 8 months,
Right.
getting 6% of 180,000. That's like, and then after commission splits and all this crap, like
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna make 60, and I just busted my ass, for
Right.
60. So right there, I was like, okay, like I'm gonna start flipping houses. Like, I'm doing all the work. I'm finding the deals. Like I want to flip the house, and that's what got me into flipping houses.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I don't want to get too personal. I just know, and I'll tell whoever is watching is, through the course of seeing the activity that you've done, I know by any standard, you're already super successful, especially, profit wise, monetary wise. And before the age 30, that's awesome. So, I promise you, I wasn't going to keep you too long. We'll probably do this again because your life story is pretty intriguing. So let me ask you this: with all the success that you've had so far now, where do you see yourself now in say, 2021 and beyond? Like, what do you want to see for yourself, business wise and personally wise? By the time you hit 30, let's say.
Yeah. So right now, my mindset for 2020 is to really like clean up everything about my business. It's already clean. Like I'm not saying like, oh, I'm running, bad
Right.
stuff. I want everything 100% dialed in where I could even sell my business if I wanted to. Like that's how
Wow.
organized and everything I want my business to be. That's pretty much what I'm focused on in 2021. And then, keep doing what I'm doing. Obviously I want to buy rentals and then retire young and all that stuff. But because of COVID and everything that's going on, I'm really just taking it 1 year at a time. So 2021, I just want to really organize everything, get everything systematized, keep branding myself and then, brand my company.
Yeah.
That's it, just keep growing and we'll see. Things change. That's what
No,
another
for
thing.
sure. For sure.
One moment you think you want to be a realtor for the rest of your life, and then the next moment you're like, no, dude, I want to be a flipper. I'm not gonna hold myself to, oh, I want to be a flipper for forever.
Forever. Yeah.
I'm just gonna, focus
What's
on.
beautiful about that is success kind of brings on different success, right? So you learn the principle of how to succeed in one realm. I think you take that principle to anything else, and it kind of just snowballs from there. So before I let you go, because you're gonna do this again, this is cool. Before I let you go, any words of wisdom?
Well, one obviously is the obvious. Like if I could do it, you could do it. But I would say to anyone out there, you don't have to think that you're only as good as what you've been so far, right?
Mm,
You've always been kind of fat and sloppy. That doesn't mean you need to be fat and sloppy for the rest of your life, right? If you've been
mm,
addicted to drugs and alcohol this whole time, that doesn't mean that's what it needs to be forever. But at some point, you're going to have to say, hey, look, this is who I am. I am addicted to this, this, and this, but I'm not that person anymore. For me, it really helped when I moved. So in Vegas, I was like party, clubs, drinking, smoking, that lifestyle.
sure.
I come out here with my wife, and it's not the same. People don't see me as that, and I don't see people as that because they don't know me and I don't know them. So, if you want to change, you're going to have to change your surroundings and you're going to have to change who you are. And, everyone's like, oh, but, I've been friends with this person for so long, well,
Yeah.
sometimes you got to let people go,
That's the
unfortunately.
hardest, bro. I said that in one of my videos. I think it was my New Year's resolution video. And I said, the comment I made was continue to love your friends, but if they're not living the life that you want to live, then they're not the circle that's going to get you there. So you need to cultivate new relationships. So
Yeah.
on that note, bro, I'm glad I met you a year and a half ago. I hope once this whole COVID thing is past us, we'll grow this friendship, but more importantly, or as importantly, we'll be able to do some deals together. We've been talking about that forever. So let's make it happen, man.
All right. Thanks for having me, bro. Let's do it
Dude, I
again.
appreciate you more than you know. We'll talk soon after this, okay?
Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care.